It's in your face.
What the hell is going on down there?
It's in your face.
What the hell is going on down there?
It's in your face. It's in your face.
What the hell is going on down there?
It's in your face.
What the hell is going on down there?
Okay, so I'm gonna upload these graphics right quick. So give me 5 minutes, not even that, to upload these graphics so I can show y'all the visuals and we can get into Smackdown because it was a doozy.
Damn right we take turns being wrong. I get real accountable when I'm alone. I get real about it all when I'm alone. It's so crazy missing you. I get on. Now Julio made me a Scorpio, and I might hit your phone up with that ba-ba-ba. Listen, my da-da-da. Listen, that all of this love is toxic. All of this love is toxic. All these kisses and hugs and toxic. You a damn drug, yeah. Toxic.
If you don't wanna see me, if you don't wanna see me, did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I once did the heartbreak change me, baby, but look at where I ended up. I'm okay already, so moved on, it's scary, I'm not where you left me at all. So, if you don't wanna see me dancing with somebody, don't show up, don't come out, don't stop caring about me now, walk away, you know how, don't stop caring.
All right, y'all. So I finally got all of the accoutrements uploaded so I can make sure we can visually see. Yes. So hello to KB, hello Aaliyah, and hello to Brandy. Hello to Kayla, B. Jeffers, Tay, Janelle, Aaliyah, and Nika. Hello to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. And to those of you who do not comment and are listening to me squeak and squawk and holler into the microphone, thank you so much. I appreciate the views. I appreciate you being here. I don't mind if you just sit and listen or watch, whatever works for you, babes. Any whoosies, we're here to talk about Smackdown. Yes, and we're going to do this out of order, mainly because this part just happened and it's fresh on my mind. Okay, now throughout the night, Roman Reigns showed up. Everybody asking him where Jey Uso where he ain't had no answers. So when they got to the back and they sat down, Roman doing his normal Victor Sweet fucking Nino Brown spiel. Where the fuck is he at? Where he at? Ain't nobody heard from this knuckle. Okay? Where is he? Did you see him? I don't see him. They were upset. He was upset, honey. And Jimmy like, listen, I tried calling him. He not answering. Y'all understand? I've been trying to talk to him for days since Rumble. He not answering. Phone going to voicemail. I ain't seen the man. So Roman gets in his little feelings and he like, you telling me you ain't talked to him? He said, that's what I said. I'm telling you I didn't talk to him. So then Roman lays it on real thick. He starts the manipulation tactics, okay? It goes from, I'm the tribal chief, a lot is on my shoulders, to the family got to be together or there's no more day ones, okay? We got to keep our family together, okay? We need to be still the bloodline. We can't be the bloodline if we not whole. Roman was very much in his feelings about that. He didn't like that. Okay. So he charged Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso to go find Jey Uso. I don't know why. They all came there together, and I would imagine that Jey Uso was not on the plane when they got there. He damn sure wasn't on the plane that they flew to get there. Therefore, they wasn't gonna be able to find him on the premises. What made you think he was gonna be there? Come on, Nino. Come on, Victor. Think. Okay. Then he charges the wise man to get in touch with Jimmy since Jey Uso, since everybody else can't get in touch with him. And Jey Uso's phone continues to go to voicemail. He is gone with the wind. Ghosted. Gone. Okay? Sir, as the night progresses and things go on, they go back to the bloodline once again, to which Jimmy and Solo come back there and tell Roman that he is nowhere to be found. They cannot reach him via cell phone, and they have not seen the man. So Roman then tries a softer approach. He tries the gentle parenting approach. We need our family to be together. I need my family to be back together. Because without the family, I can't be at the top of the mountain. Without the family, we need them to dominate. Right? Right? I need my family. And the family needs me. And then he goes, I apologize, Jimmy, for speaking to you the way that I did. I love y'all. I just want my family to be together. You're ruining my moments.
Tiffany.
You're ruining my moment.
Tiffany.
Let me finish.
Tiffany.
Listen. Roman tells him he loves him and he has a full spread on the bus and catering for them. Sushi, steaks, the whole nine. The wise man ordered catering. And all they got to do is go on the bus and that he's going to handle everything in the ring. So the boys go out and Roman heads out. It take him another 10 minutes to get to the fucking ring and be acknowledged and all that other bullshit. Blah, 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 blah. Congress bullshit. Let's go. Then we get to the point where the crowd is cheering for Sammy, and that didn't sit well with the tribal chief too much. He was very, very perturbed at the fact that I'm out here, I'm the champion, and y'all cheering for this fool? How dare you? How dare you? I want to talk about Cody Rhodes, somebody who earned an opportunity to face me, somebody who was truly going to be an adversary, and y'all want to talk about fucking Sami Zayn. Okay, bet. Let's go. Okay, let's talk about Samuel. Let's talk about him. I gave him the keys to the kingdom. I gave him a piece of my family, and he spit in my face. Okay? He dogged me out. So I did what I had to. I got rid of the cancer. And y'all want to cheer for this fool? Sami Zayn is not my family. So it is what it is. And well, in the midst of his speech, Sammy came out there on some vengeful shit. Sammy was whooping Roman's ass, okay? To the night water, okay? Sammy speared the shit out of Roman. And had Roman not been no punk ass bitch with Solo and Jimmy on the sidelines, Sammy would still be whooping his ass. Okay? Sammy told him straight up he had the chair in his hand. After he attempted to hit him with the chair, Roman rolled his punk ass out. Y'all see Paul Heyman running? Paul Heyman roly-poly. Ooh, everything was jiggling, baby. That little run took a lot out of him. It did. Girl. Pauline was running, child. Woo! I could replay that shit and have a time with that run. You understand me? But anyway, Pauline got the chair. Roman thought he was going to use it, but he ended up losing the chair after a spear, and Sammy took him out and tried to hit him with the chair, but Roman ran. So Sammy got the mic and told Roman, I never wanted anything from you. I never got anything from you. But now, since you went on some bullshit, now I do want something that you have. And I want the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. Then that's when he got a text. He got beat up, thrown into the corner. Solo was finna take him out, and that's when Roman kind of spared his life on that one. And he basically went down there and told him straight up, I gave you the keys to the kingdom. I made you a part of my family. And you turned your back on me. So now I'm going to give you what you want. You want an undisputed Universal Championship match? You got it. And I'm going to beat your ass in front of your family, your friends, your wife, your kids, your entire country. I'm going to destroy you. Sammy was laid out prostrate before the Lord, and it went off with Roman holding the titles high. Now, given the state of the WWE and the current regime that is before us, Triple H threw a curveball in the game because this could very well change the outcome or what's leading into Royal Rumble. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, they would never take Cody's match away from him. It's still going to be Roman versus Cody. You are right. That is true. But they could still split the titles up. Who crying? Mom said SJ. I'm a nephew in there crying at his daddy house, child. Anyway, child. Now, the way I see it, they could do this one of two ways, right? They could let Roman beat Sami Zayn, and that's that. You know, and Jey Uso come back and try to make it seem like everything is right as rain or whatever, and everything is cool, and there's no issues, right? And that's how they wrap up that story really quickly, so Cody could have his moment. You feel what I'm saying? But we're a week out. I mean, we'll be like, by the time that comes around, by the time Elimination Chamber come around, we'll be almost a month away from WrestleMania. Okay? In my mind, to separate, to have something big on the second night of Mania, just the first night of Mania, I think the belts need to be split up. I don't care what anybody says. If they didn't have to pull the trigger at Rumble. They have Elimination Chamber. Pull the fucking trigger. Split the titles up. You can give one to Sammy. Sammy could be champion for a month. He could even make it past WrestleMania. And then at Money in the Bank or at on a Smackdown, he can drop it to Kevin or whoever. It doesn't matter. But you can split this up. You can split them up. Roman can still defend the WWE Championship against Cody. Give Cody that marquee title. This could still work. I'm so... The way that crowd popped for Sammy when he was out there was nuts. Okay, did you see that? Mm-hmm. Did you see that? The way that crowd went bonkers for that man when he came out there. Roman ain't never garnered that type of heat. No, not even heat. Like, he ain't never had that type of of admiration. I don't care what y'all say. Like, that's never fucking happened. Never, ever, ever with him. Okay? He's the guy. He's the big guy. He's number one. Not shitting on that. But Sammy has true underdog ability, and it is just perfect. It's the perfect storm. Like, pull the fucking trigger. Do it. Oh my God. Okay. So let me go into these comments. Okay, I'll talk about the women in a minute. I'll talk about the women in a minute, Rico. Yeah, he got two. Nino Brown and Victor Sweet, because that's what he reminds me of. That's how he acts. If you ain't never seen Four Brothers, then you wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But Victor Sweet and Nino Brown are very reminiscent of each other. In some ways, Victor Sweet was more vicious than Nino was. But at the same time, they were the same person. They acted the same. They moved the same. The only difference is Nino wasn't no little bitch before he came into power. Victor was. Okay? So if you look at how they came up and how they came into the game, like Nino Brown generally had a plan to make his family be at the top of the mountain, and of course, sell drugs in the streets. But he did that to that was the lifestyle he wanted to live, and that's how he wanted to sustain himself. Good for fucking him. You feel me? But at the same time, Victor Sweet's a rise to the top was different. Victor Sweet got tired of being bullied and bitched out. So Victor took out his uncle, assumed the throne, and then he became a fucking narcissistic bitch made. Like, he is mad ignorant. And they fear him because he paid people to keep himself protected. Judges, lawyers, and all that good shit in his pocket. The difference between Victor and Nino maintained the power of his family on his own. Victor solidified his family through the power of authority of others. But Roman bounces back between the two of them, in my opinion, with his viciousness. Because Victor Sweet used to do some dirty shit. When I was watching Four Brothers, that nigga was on some gnarly fucking shit. Because Sammy loves cake and violence. Sammy was on some bullshit. Sammy said, bitch, I'm from Montreal. It was on some garbage. He even got stuck in the roast for a second. Child. It was on some other next level shit, honey. But anyways, so obviously the stage has been set, but I don't think they made it official, but it is. Roman Reigns is going to be facing, now he's risen. Hello, Donnie. Roman Reigns is going to be facing Sami Zayn at Elimination Chamber. Now, there are some factors that have not been introduced yet. Kevin obviously is taking a break. We don't know when we'll see Kevin again. Jey Uso has yet to be found. He is an X factor. I don't think Jey Uso is going to help Sammy win that championship. And if they do it the way I think WWE is probably going to do it, they're going to have Jey Uso definitely come in and cost Sammy that championship. And then Roman's going to go into Mania with both titles. However, I think they should swerve us. I very much think they should have Sammy drop those championships. And then you can go with the storyline of Jey Uso being hurt that Sammy did what he did, causing the destruction of his family. You can spring this into a way so that it makes sense, but also you can get an extra storyline out the deal without having Roman carrying the weight of two belts. My idea both times, in both scenarios, Roman Reigns is not double champion. That's what I want. I want 2 nights. I want 2 championships defended. That's what I want. Anywhoosies, let us move on. So at the beginning of the show, what we got was Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus Imperium. Now, in the beginning, of course, Gunther was down there, and he obviously is on a high from having his historic debut at number 1 in the Royal Rumble this past Saturday, moving into being one of the final 2 in the Royal Rumble, having the longest time in the Rumble. Walter, aka Gunther, put on a show and a spectacle and really solidified himself as a problem in the WWE. If it wasn't already apparent already, it definitely is apparent now. Imperium themselves are one of the best tag teams in the world. So Ricochet and Braun Strowman had a massive task ahead of them, competing against this solid former tag team NXT champion team. This team has just done nothing but collect titles since they got into the E, and it ain't hard for them to go after more. But for whatever reason, Braun Strowman and Ricochet were the ones who were the victors. In my opinion, the better match would have been Imperium versus the Usos. However, I understand that there's a story to be told. However, I don't care. I don't care about no story. I don't care. I like Imperium going up against the Usos because it's a better matchup. These two teams are solid. They've been together. They know what they're doing. And between the two of them, it would have been a spectacle. Okay? The Usos are combo wrestlers, high flyers, and technical. The Imperium is more on a technical mat, ground and pound type of wrestlers. So you have two fighting styles, or rather two wrestling styles that would have worked and meshed well together, especially with the perfectionism that both teams exemplify in every match that they have. So that would have been the better squad, in my opinion. But they decided to bring these two bumfucks together and create a tag team that isn't bad. But I was like, bitch, really? Girl, all right. So this match was up first, thank the Lord. It was longer than it needed to be, but ultimately Ricochet and Braun Strowman did win. They had a cool little stunt towards the end with a good finish. The match itself was good. I'm not going to lie. The boys performed. They did exceptionally well. I still think Imperium should have been the ones to win that match and go on to compete against the Usos. But that's just me personally. There was some other matches on the show. And child, let me tell y'all what else was on there. Dominic Mysterio has decided to grow his hair out for whatever reason, or continue growing his hair out for whatever reason. I don't understand what's going on with him, nor do I care. And I don't know what the fuck Finn Balor is wearing, but his wife need her ass whooped for letting him come out the house like that. I don't care what you say. Nobody can tell me anything. I don't care. She need her ass whooped for him coming out the house like that.
You mentioned Finn.
Is that what he was channeling? Jamiroquai?
That's what Xavier posted
on his Twitter. Okay, go to hell. Go to hell. Go to hell.
That's what Xavier posted on his Twitter.
You just got my video flag. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you. You could not turn the sound on and just tell me what it was.
It wouldn't have been the same.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Anyway, she let him come out the house like that. I blame her. I'm sorry. She didn't have her ass whooped for that. And then Finn need a secondary ass whooping for walking around like that. You don't come out your house dressed like that. I don't know what the fuck that was, but it was purple zebra print on that jacket. He had a bucket hat on. And then Dominic, y'all some lames. That's the only way I can explain it so you can get where I'm coming from. Y'all are some lames. Y'all are some lames. You understand? I don't know no other way to say it. Lames. Can you plug me up, please? Just lames. I'm gonna get to that in a minute too. Tears out. It's coming. But I had to get that out the way, child. I never thought that Jey Uso would be sad about Sammy getting kicked out of the bloodline, because the OJ would be like, I was right about Sammy and waiting for that day to happen. I think eventually Jey Uso will come around and Sammy is going to get whatever they claim to be he deserves. But I don't think it's going to be just a situation of Jey Uso. I really think WWE is going to wrap this storyline up as quickly as possible so that they can start working on the story between Cody and Roman. That's what I think. Because I honestly, to be real, this storyline superseded Cody's. And I don't think that they want that to continue. I don't think they're going to split those belts up, although that's what I want and that's what I think they should do. I don't think that's what they're going to do. So even if I just think that they could make this play out better without having both of the belts on Roman at Mania. They could split these titles, but I just don't see it happening. Finn looked like he was about to break dance. Like, nigga, this ain't the 80s. I don't know what the fuck he was wearing, but he is not giving. Can somebody tell me? I'm finna get to it. I'm finna get to it. I promise. They couldn't give the spot to Shotzi or Zaya. Zaya wasn't even in it. She wasn't even in the match. She wasn't even considered to be in the match. But I'm finna get to that next. Just hold on. Rico, this is just a kept Finn. Kept man Finn. There's only a little bit of change. I'm wearing bucket hats now. Yeah, but you're wearing a bucket hat for a reason, not because you. And even if you was, you don't look bad, and the Finn looks stupid. He looks stupid. Tirza, tell me he don't look stupid wearing that hat. And then it's not even the hat. It's everything that is encompassing with the outfit and the hat. And the attitude change. It's just weird. Why he can't? I don't understand. It's not clicking. Tirza, you can wear anything. I know Selena wasn't winning because sis will be out for a while because she has a ruptured implant. Oh. I'm sorry to hear that. Not as ruptured. That's not cool. I hope she get better. Let's get to the girls, okay? Child, was her titty sagging off? No. Why would you ask that? She looked fine when she was out there. She did a great spot. Selena had a good time in that match. She did exceptionally well. I'm very happy for her. But true, child, listen, this match was unnecessary. Especially with the bitches that they put in it, it was unnecessary. First of all, tell me why Raquel was put into the elimination chamber without having to qualify. Somebody give me an answer as to why. And why somebody like Natalya ended up having to qualify. She's a former tag team champion, former women's champion, and she had to qualify. Somebody tell me how that makes sense. I just need somebody in comments to tell me. I'm gonna wait. Well, they said on Raw that the women who were already put in the final four were in the Rumble, sans Rhea. Okay, so they should have just put the last 6 in the chamber. That makes sense? Right, just put the last, 5? Well, no, it's 6 because they had all the girls that was in the Rumble. So why didn't you just put the last 6 in there? Why you got 2 qualifying matches wasting people's fucking time? Especially when you put somebody like Natalya in there. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have nothing against Natalya, and I understand that they're gonna be in Montreal. But you could have did a match with Shayna and Natalya at Elimination Chamber, could you not? Yeah. Do they not have history? They do. Okay, so why the fuck would you do that? You just wasted all that time, and you wasted a slot. Natalya is not winning in that chamber. I don't give a damn if they in Quebec, Montreal, whatever the fuck they at in Canada. Her ass is not gonna be the one to go up against Bianca at WrestleMania. So you wasted a slot. When you could have gave it to somebody else who actually deserves it and needs it. It's no shade to Natalya. I can't say this enough because some of y'all hoes don't listen. So let me make it clear. It's no shade to Natalya. But out of all of these girls, Zelina and Shotzi are the only 2 who need the boost. Am I lying? And a match like Elimination Chamber before WrestleMania, why would you put Natalya in it? For what? Because she's going to be in Canada? So what? Give her own match against Shayna in Canada. Let them fight it out. You need a good story for the girls on the show anyway, because you don't have shit going. Natalya won with her limping ass. I don't know what the fuck was going on with her, but every time that hoe get in the match, she be limping like her leg hurt, and it be the same damn leg. And nobody did any leg moves on Natalya in this whole match. She didn't have no bumps on her leg, no knee shit. She didn't fly. She didn't do nothing. So I don't know why she was limping. I don't know why her knee hurt. I don't know why. Okay, but it's just unnecessary. God. She said Shayna wasn't winning because her and Ronda are going to go after them tag titles, which I said was going to happen when her and Shayna first got paired together. Don said, I guess because Natty ain't been there, but Rocky has. Child, boom. They said the final 5 of the Royal Rumble automatically qualifies. It wasn't final 5. It was only 4 women that qualified. 4 women qualified, babe. Let me see. Did I upload them? I don't think I did. Hold on. No, baby. See, the 4 women in the Royal Rumble were Raquel, Asuka, Liv, and then I don't remember Nikki Cross being a part of the final 4. The final 5 women. I don't remember that. But Nikki was in there. I don't remember her being a part of the final 4. I thought Nikki got eliminated earlier. But okay. How now, brown cow? It was 4 women who qualified for the Royal Rumble qualified for the Elimination Chamber due to them being the last 4 in the Rumble. Then Natalya qualified today. On Monday, they're going to have Piper. Oh, shit. Now I got to think. Damn, I just saw it too. Monday, they're going to have Piper and somebody. Piper, Carmella. Oh, bitch. I know who it is, too. Dang it. I can't see who else it is. I can't remember. One of y'all will put it in there because y'all got better memory than I do. Anyways, let me get the rest of these comments in here. Child, why I'm just not seeing that picture with Natty on it. Okay. I love Finn, but he really started to dress crazy when he joined the Judgment Day. So honestly, you can't blame the wife. No, I blame him. I blame her. They should have given that spot to Shotzi. I agree. Yes, I can, Kayla. That's why Raquel and Nikki are in there. The Natty versus Shayna would have made more sense at Chamber. Thank you. You see what I'm saying? Natty is really good in the Chamber. That's not my point. That's not my point at all. But Rhea's not in the Elimination Chamber. It's what I'm saying. He said the final 5 qualified for the Chamber. Rhea is the Royal Rumble winner. She did not qualify for the Chamber. That would require them to make non-title feud for women. We know how Hunter and Vince struggle to do that. I wouldn't say they struggle, Hunter, but it's Mania season. It's pretty much a done deal. She got a bad ankle. I'll say the struggle because since Roman got both belts, most of the matches on the PLE's been men non-title feud, while the women are strictly title matches. Well, Rhea is a part of the final 5, but that's what I was saying. Earlier when I said I went by what was said. If you say the remaining final 5 are all qualified for the chamber, I'm gonna final 5 didn't qualify for the chamber. Only 4 did. So I'm just saying, like, I'm going by what Hiram said. I'm not talking about like what actually happened. We're talking about what Hiram said. Hiram said, well, they said the final 5 qualified for the chamber. No, the final 5 didn't. Rhea Ripley did not. She won the chamber. I mean, she won the Rumble. So she didn't qualify for the chamber. She was not a part of the qualification. Asuka's winning the chamber anyway. Piper, Mia, Candice, and Mella. Okay. I go for Mia or Piper. Wait, who said Rhea? So the remaining women of the final 5. No, just say the final 4 in the Rumble qualified for the damn chamber. Y'all confusing me. Hiram said the final 5 of the Royal Rumble qualified for the Elimination Chamber. And I said, no, that's wrong. Because the final 5 did not qualify. The final 4 did. They decided to put the final 4 women of the Royal Rumble into the Elimination Chamber. They got a pass. They did not have to compete. I said, okay, if they doing it that way, why didn't they just let... Oh, my God. I said, if they doing it that way, why didn't they just let the final 6, sans Rhea Ripley, because she won, so I don't include her. I said in response to that to include, why didn't you just take the last 6 girls who were eliminated in the Rumble then, if you were going to do it that way? It don't make sense to me. Hiram didn't do anything wrong. I don't like the way he said it, because to me, they still didn't put the final 5 in the chamber. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. They still put the final 4, sans the winner of the chamber, in there. And they should, if they were going to do that, then why not just take the last 6 women outside of Rhea Ripley into the chamber? That's my point. It had nothing to do with Hiram. He just said a statement that to me wasn't plausible, because if you're going to include Rhea in there, she's not included. Even if you don't, they still didn't take the 5 women who were eliminated, sans Rhea Ripley. They only took the 4. Because the men only have to compete in a small number of matches. They didn't have to fill the whole chamber. Austin is competing in the chamber. So, to put it bluntly, they don't have to do that many matches to fill up the chamber for the Elimination Chamber for Austin Theory. He's taking one of those slots. Everybody that was competing in the chamber either are former champions, which is Seth Rollins. He's one of them. And then you had Dolph and Bronson Reed. Like, a lot of people was competing that didn't really have opportunities in the Rumble this year. Sans Montez and Dawkins, and Elias. Elias was in the Rumble, right?
think so.
Yeah, Theory was in the Rumble, Elias was in the Rumble, Seth was in the Rumble. Either way, they don't have to do that many matches. They literally got 2 matches Monday to finish filling out the chamber for them, and they're done. The girls would have to start from scratch to fill up the Rumble. To fill up the chamber. I don't have a problem with them letting people into the chamber without competing. I don't have a problem with that. What I have an issue with, or what I take issue with, is when you do something silly like what they did today. I felt like that could have been done differently, especially when, like, Natalya competed in the Rumble. Like, if you were going to go off of performance or the last 6 women outside of the winner, the last 6 women outside of the winner, because technically Rhea was never eliminated in the Rumble. So to me, she just doesn't count. All right. Out of the last 6 girls in the Rumble, that's, if you wanted to put them in the chamber, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. But they also, and then they would have to compete. Multiple matches would have to be done, and they still have to build going into Elimination Chamber on other stories. So they're under time constraints. I understand the logistics of it, but I'm saying I don't have a problem with it that way. But at the same time, they got to make it so that it makes sense. They wouldn't be able to do Becky and Bayley's match Monday if they were doing qualifying matches the whole night. They wouldn't have the time. They have to cut majority of the men's match. Like, they would cut a lot of stuff. Where is that Homer Simpson gift? Because what is happening? You could give the runner-ups of the Rumble the free pass, but to have 4 be automatically put in and then have the last 2 qualify is stupid. I'm not too big on the women not having side feuds right now. Up until this point, Rico, we've had them. Yes, the Bush one. Whether aired on the pay-per-view or not. At Kenny, I love that one. We've had minor feuds that don't go nowhere. The only notable ones are Becky versus Bayley, Mia versus Rhea, and Liv versus Sonya. The women are always going to be treated different, so I'm not too fussed. I haven't watched Smackdown tonight, so I can't speak on too much of anything. Exactly, Kenny, that's my point. But those are still side feuds. Plus, we already know where most of the attention of the show is geared to, which I'm fine with that. I'm not mad at that. I don't think Natalya needed to be in the chamber is my point. I don't care if they're going to be in Montreal. I feel like a lot of times WWE do too much playing up to people, especially when they go to Canada. They give everybody that go to Canada gets the world. But when Bayley and the rest of them go to their hometown, they lose. Tell me how that works out in your favor. Like, I know they're gonna have Edge and them wrestling at Montreal, right? Because they got to kill this shit as quickly as possible. Because it's a donezo deal, and Edge ain't gonna be wrestling too much longer to begin with, right? So they're gonna have them fighting in Montreal. Cool. My point is, like, it would make sense to have Natty and Shayna have beef and have a match at EC, but they don't do that for the women. I mean, it could be a pre-show match. It doesn't have to be on the actual show. That match can be on the pre-show. So it is what it is. I don't want Natalya in the chamber. That's just me personally. I wouldn't want to see Natty versus Shayna on the pay-per-view. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't want to see her in the chamber. So we on the same page. But you could put her on the pre-show with Shayna. Unfortunately, that put Shayna on the pre-show, but I'm just saying. Or let them fight that shit out on Smackdown. And let that feud continue past the Elimination Chamber going on to the show so y'all can have something to fill out the show on SmackDown. Either way, Natalya didn't need to be in the chamber. Period. We didn't want to see AJ versus Finn at War Games, but we got that anyway. But that unfortunately took precedence over what was going on with the women. And we got Seth versus Riddle, more than we really needed to. I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. Their feud was built correctly. It was solid. Now that last fight pit match they had, it wasn't as good as it could have been. I don't know what was going on. Maybe Riddle wasn't, performing effectively, or maybe they just didn't have enough chemistry in that match. I don't know. But it wasn't as good as the rest of the feud, so I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. Their feud was fairly solid, and I enjoyed it. And I thought that it should have ended in the fight pit match, but they didn't. They didn't pull the trigger quick enough, in my opinion. That fight pit match should have been at Clash at the Castle. That's the way it should have been. And I didn't. They did that angle of Riddle being attacked and not cleared, but if he was truly injured, he should have been cleared in time to do it. Anyways, y'all. On the show, the Viking Raiders went up against the Brawling Brutes, and then that's when the Banger Bros came out and attacked the Brawling Brutes. Attacked the Viking Raiders. Valhalla ass was just walking around with no shoes on and her titties out like she always do. She ain't really do much. The Viking Raiders did beat the Brawling Brutes. It was a pretty solid match between them two groups. It was what it was. Now, Charlotte and Sonya had a match. Now they said that they was gonna be showing up on SmackDown, or at least alluding to the fact that Rhea and or Cody was supposed to show up on SmackDown. They did not. So the show was devoid of both Royal Rumble winners, but they made sure to replay they goddamn speeches and all other kind of shit to tell everybody what they wanted to do. Other than that, Charlotte beat Sonya clean. Sonya tapped again in her match against Charlotte, and that was it. All right. I already went over what happened with Romaine and Sami Zayn and them, child. But it's an absolute mess. I feel like after Mania, you have grounds to complain because nothing has truly changed. Right now, we're kind of finishing out Vince's plans. He's just doing it his way. It is 14 degrees. Fuck that, girl. It's 16 degrees here. So when we have a shakeup and have a set roster, Mania to Mania, and shit don't change, then you could be up in arms. But I just don't think right now you're justified to be upset, to be honest. I don't like the booking of that Elimination Chamber match. I don't think it's necessary. I think they should stop pandering to the home crowds, especially Canada. I feel like every time they go to Canada, they pander to them. Everybody that's from Canada wins. But the WWE superstars who go to their hometown, sans a few, like Bianca, she's won in Tennessee a few times. And, Dawkins has won in Cincinnati a few times, once or twice. And then, sometimes when Seth goes home, they give him a win every now and then. But oftentimes what we see is the superstars will go home to their hometown and they will lose. They will lose in their hometown. But it don't matter where they go in Canada. Every fucking time they go to Canada, if there's a star there and that star is from Canada, they win it. They are winning. The women could have interesting stories, but let's be honest, they ain't have much going on. I think I am, because even with the situation we're in, there is more that can be done, and they're not utilizing their resources as well as they could be. So, child, Trish ass might be there. I know. That's my point. I don't know why they want Natty to show up in Canada. She gets booed there. Not when she's a face, she don't. Except for that time Edge lost to Cena in Canada. That was, yeah. But that was back during the days where WWE kind of flip-flop. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They kind of give you one for one day, and then the next time you go back, you might lose. It was kind of like a tit for tat. But given the way that feud went, it was supposed to swing in Cena's favor. So it was just the turn of the tide when it came to them going to Canada. But you're right, kid. You're right, Tirza. You are right. At least they losing in his hometown or not booked. That's true.
Ali be getting smacked.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that one. Tears up. Well, she beat you to it. Maybe on SmackDown, but Raw literally had people out on leave. I mean, Piper been gone for a while. Zelina Vega was out for a minute before she showed back up on SmackDown. They just got Emma, Tegan. You know what I'm saying? They just got them. On Raw, the women and SmackDown, the women's roster was pretty sparse, but I don't think they was doing the best that they could have. What they did, and it may not be the best, but I'll make it so that you can understand. So, like, is it right that we didn't see a lot of women's matches and that they've dwindled down the women's time? No. Is it fair? No. But do I understand it to a certain extent? Because with the quality of stars that they have, so like Sans, the Beckys, the Charlottes, the Romans, and all of them, on the men's side, there are more superstars that are built up on the men's time. Story building takes time. And I'm not saying that I'm making excuses for them. I'm just talking. All right. So when you look at how the women's roster is built, you got more mediocrity in the middle of there than you do superstardom. So there are not a lot of Biancas and a lot of Charlottes and Becky's and Bailey's in that fray. But we just got Damage Control pulled up to the roster. So you have a star in Io Sky and a possibility with Dakota Kai. You also have the stardom with Shayna Baszler. You got possible stardom with Shotzi. Something is brewing with Raquel, but it took time to build Raquel to where she is. It wasn't overnight. It took time. That's why a lot of the things that we're seeing on the roster when it comes to the women, it's not being executed properly. So in a sense, Rico and Don are correct at the same time. Okay. Both of them make valid points. Both of them are right. All right. To Rico's credit, the women are not getting enough time and are not being built up enough to get them where they need to be. To Don's credit, it's like, let this shit play out how it is. They will build up when after the Rumble, after everything is over, Mania, Elimination Chamber, they have no choice but to start over fresh. So Don's like, once the fresh start starts and couple months go by and we don't see no changes, then I'm right there with you on the complaining, because they've had time to revamp and revive. Don's like, they're still on the end of Vince's regime. They're still trying to flush out all of his storylines, and his storylines was not 100% set in stone or finished yet. So they're trying to get them flushed out. Now, Triple H obviously has put his touch on it. He's changed some things. But at the end of the day, we hope by the time Mania is done and set in stone and we get the draft and they draft the superstars they need, whether it be from NXT or both rosters, and they really mix up the bag, then we have an opportunity to see where they're going to go with this under Triple H as the creative director. And he hasn't made any changes as of lately, but we'll see if he's going to start implementing more women on the roster the way we think that they should be implemented. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. So Don said, like, we're not on the grounds to really push women into side stories right now. He said it's easier on NXT because they have the grounds to do so. It's 13 degrees. It feels like -5 in New York right now. I have to work tomorrow in this cold ass weather. It's part of being an adult, babe. It's what we got to do. There's also more men in the wings that they can cherry pick to come back at will, like Brock Lesnar, for example, even Cena. Correct. That is another factor that they can dip into for the men, but they don't necessarily have that for the girls. All of the girls that would have been on the roster for them to be able to dip into are either in other companies or they are no longer wrestling. So it is what it is. Rico said, I don't disagree that there aren't enough established women, but my main gripe has always been that even the most useless men's matches take precedence. Because we keep hearing about how their matches go over time and segments that I can agree with. Exactly. I agree. And even Tim said on multiple occasions, this match was way longer than it needed to be. Oh, no. Women get segments out the ass. So I'm not going to say that. The women's segments are fine. The problem is they don't have anything to complement it later. So they'll have a big old promo segment, but they won't have no women's matches. That's what happened on Smackdown a few weeks ago. They had a segment with Charlotte and Sonya, but they didn't have no match. She just attacked Charlotte and that was it. You know what I'm saying? Wait.
Damn right we take turns being wrong. I get real accountable when I'm alone. I get real about it all when I'm alone. It's so crazy missing you. I get on. Now Julio made me Scorpio. And I might hit your phone up with that bye. Listen, my da. Listen, that all of this love is toxic. All of this love is toxic. All these kisses and hugs and toxic. You a damn drug, toxic.
If you don't wanna see me, if you don't wanna see me, did a full 180, crazy, thinking about the way I once did the heartbreak change me, baby, but look at where I ended up. I'm
Okay, y'all. Anyway. She has lost her fucking mind.
Yeah, break.
Anyways, let me finish this out. Like when Ronda versus Shotzi got time cut when the women's War Games match went over, but they ain't pulled time from Finn and AJ. I know that is part of life, but it's just wild to me. Well, gotta let it go. Well, we know her to like long ass matches, but just recently they started to go over time though. Everything else seemed to be on schedule. How was Charlotte's match, by the way? It was good. Between her and Sonya, it was pretty good. She let Sonya have a good showing. They competed. It wasn't a situation of her dominating Sonya. Sonya really got a good piece, and she had a good showing in that match. So it was really good for Charlotte. But Charlotte ended up winning in the end. It was a clean win. That bitch tapped. And that's that. Even with the limited amount of women, they could get more out of each division than they have been. Nah, New York is cold as fuck. Rico, as much as progress has been made, there are still too many people who haven't bought in fully to women wrestling being there here to stay. There will always be limits and lows because of that. Well, she does have a point, unfortunately. Like Zaya and Tegan was over before it even got started. Emma versus Scarlett could have been extended into something. Mia and Rhea only had one singles match that later turned into a mixed tag. Now Sonya versus Liv is the only feud that got good time and had a story. But once it was done, nothing happened. Liv got paired with Tegan and Sonya just stayed where she was. Okay, so let's break this down. Zaya and Tegan ended up having a match after she attacked her. Tegan beat Zaya. So there's nowhere else for that storyline to go. As far as Emma versus Scarlett, it seemed like they were going to do something with that, but they had Scarlett and Cross onto Rey Mysterio. And for them to sidetrack them, that was just a little sidetrack piece. One, to introduce Scarlett into wrestling and into the ring for everybody in the WWE universe, but two, to also get rid of a little side piece that was hanging on to the feud that they already had stopped, that they already had started with Rey Mysterio and Karrion Kross. So that wasn't going to turn into anything either way. As far as Mia and Rhea is concerned, that also is a feud that I didn't need to see. As much as I would have loved to see Mia compete, quite frankly, Rhea Ripley had bigger fish to fry. So in causing them to compete again or continue to have it going would have impeded what Rhea Ripley was destined to do, which was to win the Royal Rumble. It wasn't necessary to continue that feud between the two of them. And some of these feuds you're mentioning weren't necessary to continue, except for maybe Emma and Scarlett. I feel like that had some little rumbling, that had a little spark in the flame, and that could have helped fill out the show for SmackDown. We wouldn't have to be stuck with multiple matches that we've already seen in terms of matchups and pairs on the roster. Like, I haven't seen Moss in months. Moss hasn't competed on SmackDown in months. We haven't seen him since the last time he competed against Cross, I believe it was. He hasn't been there since. So there are some things that you're right about, and others, they just don't require the time to make them into anything. Now, Sonya versus Liv is the only feud that got good time and had a story, but once it was done, nothing happened. What were they supposed to do with Sonya versus Liv after they ended their feud? It's like you want them to continue it in a certain kind of way or spark it off, which they ended up sparking it off to something else. Liv and Tegan ended up pairing up against each other to go up against Damage Control, and Sonya ended up waiting in the wings to have her moment in the sun against Charlotte some months later. Not that bitch tapping, that's that, babe. That's what happened. Like I said, the match itself was pretty good. It wasn't bad at all. And Sonya definitely performed against Charlotte in that match. She had a solid opening and a good dominating fight in the beginning. But ultimately, Charlotte bested her because she was the better competitor. She usually is.
There must be no mercy for a Santa killer. None! Okay, you guys clearly have some stuff to decide. And you will lose your tongue! Oh, yeah, that seems fair. Score another one for justice. No. Forever! Sadly, I don't think we'll be getting out of this without another fight.
Well, y'all, that was Smackdown. Child, that's the game AJ playing, the Forspoken game he playing, and she crazy. That lady got voices in her head. It's giving very much Randy Orton circa 2009. Okay. When Randy was standing out there arguing with himself and shit. He be arguing. That's what it's giving, honey. So her power is water.
Yeah.
He playing a game called Forspoken, and the lady is on there hollering and screaming on there. She a little crazy. She is giving special. You're like, oh my. Well, anyways, y'all. So listen, if you're here, if you're still here and you're still listening, appreciate you. Love you. I only got a couple more minutes. I'm only gonna hold you for a little while. I'm not gonna keep you too long. I'm gonna finish this out and then I'm gonna be out ski because I know y'all tired of me hollering into this damn microphone. I know my daddy tired. But anyway, child, listen. Tomorrow is NXT Vengeance Day. Okay. And if you don't know what you don't know, is a lot. This is a big pay-per-view for NXT. So they could use the views to watch. Okay. So if you're gonna watch it, or if at least you just want to give them a view, just turn on your TV and put the Peacock Network on and let it play in the background if you want to. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You feel me? But hold on, y'all. These matches are happening at NXT Vengeance Day, and this is going to be tomorrow, like I said, and the show starts at 8. Okay. So you got Dijak and Wesley. Wesley's going to be defending his NXT North American Championship against Dijak. I don't think Dijak is going to beat Wesley. Honestly, I'm being 100% honest. I think Wesley definitely is going to retain his championship because he's going to have somebody else that he has to compete against, and I'm guessing it's going to be Von Wagner since they made a big old showing about him possibly being somebody for him to compete against. He's already competed against Tony D. Dijak was next in line. There's plenty of other people he could compete against. Axiom would make a good person. Tyler Bate would be awesome. But they would have to focus on building that storyline for whatever pay-per-view would be after this, which I assume will be Stand and Deliver. But this is their first pay-per-view that's going to be on the road for them and for this year specifically. And I can't wait to see how this is going to play out. I'm not exactly interested in the feud between the two of them, but I know that they're going to put on a really good match. So my count for this match is going to be Wesley. Now, the NXT Tag Team Champions are being contested in a fatal four-way, loves. So you've got Gallus, one of the hardest hitting teams in NXT. NXT's first ever and only Triple Crown champions, the New Day. Chase Hughes, Andre Chase, and Duke Hudson, and of course the ever hilarious and very, very good Pretty Deadly. Now, I don't see the New Day walking out of Vengeance Day as champions. I see Pretty Deadly regaining their tag team championships back, and then Gallus and Pretty Deadly going at it later on down the line and competing for the titles. But I'm going to put my money on Pretty Deadly. This match is probably going to be my favorite match of the night. This is going to be the fun match, okay? Here we have Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews. This is a 2 out of 3 falls match. The girls are going to be fighting, and a 2 out of 3 falls match is going to be quite long. So I expect them to either put them up first or put them at the top of the key of the second hour of the show. But this match has the potential to be probably one of the best matches of the night, if not the best match of the night. These two are some of the top competitors in NXT, and quite frankly, they are some of the most athletic and the best competitors that this company has to offer. So I expect nothing less than perfection from both of them. I do not care who wins in this match, but I would not be mad if Carmelo took an L and Apollo Crews bested Carmelo simply because he's a heel and he deserves to be humbled at one point. There's another match that's happening at Vengeance Day that I don't have the match card for, which is fuck ass Kiana and Fallon are contesting them two disco bitches for their NXT tag team titles. If you care, then that's something that you will want to be interested in. Quite frankly, I don't see Kiana or Fallon beating these two. I see Isla Dawn and Alba Fire going after them later on down the line and taking those championships from them. But we shall see. Let's move into the big kahunas, the championships. So there's a triple threat on the horizon. Roxanne Perez is set to defend her titles against Gigi Dolan, her title against Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Now there seems to be a crack in the midst of Toxic Attraction. Gigi said on Tuesday that when she becomes the NXT Women's Champion, and JC was like, "Bitch, I know you fucking lying," and Gigi looking at her like, "Girl, relax." JC like, you tried it. They was about to go at it, honey, but Roxanne attacked both of them hoes. So it's going to be a fight to the death. I quite frankly do not want to see Toxic Attraction holding that fucking title and being champions on some late cool shit. No, thank you. I do think Roxanne should succeed over these two so she can have a real feud outside of anyone connected to Toxic Attraction and Mandy's former presence as the longest reigning NXT Women's Champion of these last couple of years. All right. Hold tight, y'all. 1 second.
Damn right we take turns being wrong. I get real accountable when I'm alone. I get real about it all when I'm alone. It's so crazy missing you when I get on. Now Julio made me Popio. And I might hit your phone up with that bye. Listen, my da. Listen, that all of this love is toxic. All of this love is toxic. All these bitches and hugs and toxic. You a damn drug. Toxic.
If you don't wanna see me, if you don't wanna see me, did a full one.
Anyways, let's get these final things up. So I'm going to put my money on Roxanne Perez. She's going to be the winner of this match in NXT. Right, the final match of the night for NXT Vengeance Day is going to be Grayson Waller going up against Braun Breaker. Now, these two actually have a legitimate feud with each other. Grayson Waller has taken painstaking strides to make sure that this feud was worthwhile. No shade to Braun Breaker, but all he did was show up and look mean, talk aggressively, and bark. Okay, Grayson Waller did all of the work in this feud, and I think that all that work is going to pay off for him. And it pains me to say, oh, this hurt. This gonna taste nasty. I think Grayson Waller is walking away from that steel cage match with this men's NXT championship. Here's why. The very same reason why Roxanne has the women's championship is the very same reason why Braun Breaker, will be the one to not have the championship. It's time to change the tide. Braun Breaker has been at the top of the mountain for quite some time, years even. And with all that being said, even though he's lost the title, regained it, lost it, regained it, doesn't matter. It's time to change the tune. It's time to change the channel. And the only way you're going to do that is by putting someone like Grayson Waller at the top of the mountain. Now, while he's a slimy ass little fucker sometimes, he actually is a pretty solid wrestler and can do just about anything in the ring if he wants to. He chooses to be a little slimy some bitch. So that's what we get. With all that being said, his character work though is not taken lightly, and quite frankly, I enjoy hating on the little bastard. So I don't have a problem with him getting the championship, and I know that I'm going to get some shit for this, but I don't have a problem with it, mainly because I feel like Braun Breaker has lived his time. It's time for Braun Breaker to move on to bigger and better things. He cannot do that if he is stuck in NXT. All right. There should be a time limit for NXT. You should not be in there any longer than 3 years maximum. And then you should be pulled up and ready to roll. This will then create the room that they need for the people who have been performing effectively on Level Up and those who are coming in from the Next in Line program. There's so much work to unpack and so much to do with this. They really, really, really need to start implementing that rule. With all that being said, that is it. And speaking of the Next in Line program, this is your Next in Line recruits. This is your class number 3 of the Next in Line recruits. And according to WWE and their Next in Line recruits, they have gotten, by the numbers, they have gotten 46 next in line athletes, 20 female and 26 male. 13 different sports have been represented in this next in line program. They've gained 13.5 million followers across all platforms for the WWE recruits social media. They have 12 NCAA championships between all 46 next in line athletes, 1 Olympic gold medalist, take a gander at who that is, 40 All-American honors, and 15 different conferences are represented in this next in line class of recruits. So kudos to WWE. This is only after a year's work of implementing this program. I personally think the program is ingenious. This is definitely how you start with homegrown talent. These guys are coming straight from college. They have no prior wrestling experience on the indies. They're coming in, learning it the WWE way, which means they're going to be bred straight from the factory, coming out onto the floor and ready to perform. So people like Big E, Bianca, and so many others who were collegiate athletes first before they came into the WWE are now going to be creating their own paths in this company, and I appreciate it and I love it. Thank you so much to WWE. We appreciate it. This is an award-winning program as well, so it's good. It's pretty good. All right, y'all. They kicked me out, child. That's rude. Anyways, so this is what we got. This is what's going on. Anything else that y'all want me to talk about? Because if not, I'm gonna go. Yep, I'm gonna go. Down for the count is up. We did cover Royal Rumble and excuse me. We did cover Royal Rumble and where we think things could go, how we felt about the show, and all that stuff. So don't miss Down for the Count. Please go and listen to the show. Thank you so much. And make sure you guys go and listen to the KTT podcast. Also on Spotify. There she is. That's what my face looks like when you go and listen to the podcast. There are some episodes up there. The episode for the music is coming tonight. It'll be uploaded tonight. So you guys can listen to that. There is an Am I the Asshole post up there. There's so much stuff that's coming. I got some more Am I the Asshole posts. And I got a post about Beyonce that's coming up because it was too funny to pass. I had to do it. But child, listen, y'all make sure y'all follow me on all my socials. Everything is scrolling on the bottom of the screen here. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when I go live. I will go live tomorrow after NXT Vengeance Day. If the show is worth going live for, I will, and we'll just chit chat tomorrow right before I watch Black Panther. We're gonna watch Black Panther at night or during the day.
That's what we want to do.
I want to watch Glass Onion, and I want to watch Black Panther tomorrow. And there's another movie that I'm supposed to watch because we already watched Everything Everywhere All at Once.
You did, I did.
You didn't watch it with me? Yes, you did.
I was at work when you was watching. I caught the end.
Oh yeah, that's true. My bad. I had to watch it before the 7-day trial ended because I didn't want to pay that $10. I didn't want to pay that $10. I didn't want to pay that. Anyways, so y'all make sure to follow the podcast as well. New stuff will be up there. And like I said, it's just good stuff for y'all to listen to in the background when you do a homework, when you have to, cook dinner or anything. You can listen to Down for the Count if you're more on the wrestling side. And if you want to just know just interesting conversations and Reddit topics, then my KTT podcast will be for you. And I might have some of the other guys from here on there as well. When I talk with Donnie and them about music, I usually bring them on. And I might talk to Alexis about doing some makeup related content over there. So we can kind of get this thing started, okay? So you guys make sure you follow me here. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when I go live, all right? Make sure you follow me on Instagram because that's where the commentary is, babes. You miss the commentary when you're not on Instagram because I don't do commentary over here because YouTube flags too much, okay? And of course, make sure you follow Down for the Count and follow me on our podcast and give us a good rating. There's questions up there for you to answer, the whole 9. I will see you guys tomorrow after Vengeance Day. I'll let you know how I felt about that show and everything else. Y'all be easy, okay? Get you some sleep, rest, relaxation, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye.